was getting ready, watching the Barbie movies. Listen, if anything, I'm true to the material. The source material has source material. These movies are immaculate. I'm so ready to talk about them for way too long. Just go watch Barbie Fairytopia Mermaidia first before we get into this video. Cause you need to know the lore. You need to know the lore. Hello, my people, and welcome. I feel like I'm about to do a PowerPoint presentation with this little clickety-clackety thing. Anyway, let's talk about the Barbie movies. Let's just get into it. I don't even want to like do the whole shenanigans of, oh, hi, how are you? We have big, important things to be doing right now. And that, what is that? What could that possibly be? Discussing the Barbie cinematic universe, of course. What else is there to life other than the Barbie cinematic universe? Discuss something very dear and close to my heart, and I'm gonna try and talk about this with some level of restraint and tact, but we're talking about the Barbie cinematic universe today and the cultural impact it has had on everything. Well, mostly just me. This is mostly just very me, but it's my channel. I am going to tell you about things that I think about. We're going to look at why Barbie is the feminist icon that she is, why the think pink ideology has basically changed my brain chemistry and saved me from full N-log initiation. Yeah, I might talk about the N-logs. If you don't know what that is, I did a video about that sometime during the pandemic. Oh my god, that was so long ago. I think that was like 3 years ago or 2. The passage of time is a bit scary. Oh dear. I'm gonna push that existential dread, just put it in a little box and hide it away. And we're going to talk about possibly one of the best movie characters ever. The powerhouse of the Barbie cinematic universe, if you will. My nails are colored like him. It's BIBBLE. If you don't know who BIBBLE is, I'm so sorry. Why did you not do the required reading? BIBBLE in Barbie Fairytopia and Barbie Fairytopia Mermaidia, one of the best movie characters to ever exist. We're also going to get into him in this video. So buckle up, get yourself a little pink drink, or pink anything, and let's get into this shit. We are talking about the Barbie movies, the Old Testament specifically, and I have to simply just rate every single one. The first Barbie movie that was ever released is Barbie and the Nutcracker, and she blessed our screens. In the year 2001, the year of our Lord, the year before. Well, no, I was born after. The year after I was born was a little like gate opening. They were opening the gates and then I came through. Though I have so much love for this classic, I think one thing you begin to realize when you're delving into the Barbie cinematic universe is in the Old Testament, that's what I'm going to call it, the old Barbie movies are like the Old Testament for me. They are very... oh, the graphics are terrifying. There's no other way to say it. Some of the animation choices, some of the animals, the anthropomorphic animals don't look all the way like right, like correct, and kind of instill like a fight or flight response in you, but it's part of the thrill. It's part of the movie. It's completely intentional, and I think part of the cinematic experience.
I obviously didn't shrink you small enough. Your mouth is still much too big.
Shanice.
Yeah?
Your mouth is moving a lot like a rat. Yappa, 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 yappa. Shut it, please.
8 out of 10. Fun movie, terrifying graphics, did not age well, but objectively a classic. Rapunzel sucked mid. The dragon was cool though. I will give it a 5 out of 10. Next one, Swan Lake. Beautiful dances, amazing outfits. Plus also, I kind of found myself like kind of attracted to the main villainess of this story. It wouldn't be Barbie if it's not queer. So just because of that, and she's not even, it's just her vibe. She's very like,
It's me, isn't it?
brat coded, and I kind of like that. So I'm gonna give it like a 6 out of 10.
Pathetic.
Princess and the Pauper, aka Barbie and her broke bestie. It has a brilliant little twin moment. We love a good twin chem. You and your bestie marrying 2 guys who look exactly the same at a joint wedding. Shut the fuck up.
It's giving share.
Amazing. 10 out of 10. Don't even argue with me. Argue with the wall. Barbie Fairytopia. I have no words for the cultural moment that was Barbie Fairytopia. In this movie, we are introduced to Elena. Yeah, she's cool, she's fine, she's a fairy, she's doing her fairy little things and she has the rainbow thing. I don't give a fuck about her, quite honestly speaking. I shouldn't cuss in this video so much. Because it is Barbie, so I'm gonna try and keep it PG-ish. We're introduced to BIBBLE, the love of my life. The powerhouse of the whole cinematic industry. The cinema, the movies, the animations, everything. He's iconic and
bombastic side eye.
Those are set up for my friends. Friends I haven't met yet.
it's so good. And I didn't know how they could make it even better, but they did. And we'll get there. Next you have the Pegasus one. I don't know, I didn't really like it. I thought it was a bit mid. I'm sorry for the girlies who did. 4 out of 10. Honestly, lowest one. Oh my god, it's Barbie Diaries.
To set the record straight, I do wash my clothes.
The most terrifying. I simply must scream because
Courtney, we don't. Criminal offensive side eye.
if I run out of the house screaming, pulling out my hair, everyone will say that I've lost my mind. But look at these graphics.
Patience, Barbie.
What the fuck? Is this allowed? What the fuck? Is that allowed?
Look at this animation. Is that not going to instill fear? The most primal sense of fear into the heart of anybody? That is nothing short of nightmare fuel. That movie is terrifying.
We're talking about your hopeless, desperate, but strangely endearing crush on our friend Barbie.
Hey, just
Oh,
say,
that.
whoa.
And the plot, actually, I don't even think anything happens. I don't really remember the plot of this movie. I just remember the sheer unsettling, uncanny valley fight or flight, I want to scream and cry response that these graphics gave me. Actually very terrifying. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 just because of how iconic the graphics are, but overall a mid movie. Next we have the most. Remember I was talking about Barbie Fairytopia? Well, they came around and they did it again with Barbie Fairytopia Mermaidia. Same characters for the first movie, the main girl and BIBBLE. I don't even remember her name. I know her name. Fucking, what is it? Elena. Or Elena? Something like that. She becomes a mermaid for this movie and they're going to the little mermaid world and they're like fighting like a bad villain who's doing like bad things and who cares? Got to see BIBBLE having his little underwater moment, being the king of the sea that he is.
Delicious.
BIBBLE?
In this movie, we were introduced to, what's her name? Nora? The mermaid with the blue hair?
Aren't you the most luscious thing a branch ever saw?
When I tell you I fell in love again, you would call me delusional.
Look at the material.
You should be going home
You can be the judge of it.
Look at it. You're looking at it, I'm looking at it. Now let's not argue. Okay? let's not have these silly little arguments when I say that this is the best movie of all time simply because of her and BIBBLE. Power couple. Barbie, but make a girl group. We have Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, the only girl group ever. I've said it before and I've said it again. Stand the 12. We love the little sisters. They have these little shoes and oh my god, I used to do this in my room because they have the little circles that go around with flowers and they dance and then they go into like a secret magical world because they have this whole like choreographed routine. These girls are at it. K-pop has nothing on these girls. They train every single night. So much so that their shoes are getting worn out quickly.
Here's if she's exciting, fresh, and fun.
Please. She sounds like a deodorant.
10 out of 10. Fairytopia is not a duology. It is a trilogy actually because there's Barbie, Fairytopia, the rainbow one. The magic of the rainbow, this one's kind of mid. I mean, BIBBLE's in it, so I will give it an 8 out of 10. But it's not my favorite Barbie Fairytopia movie. Mine is Fairytopia Mermaidia. If we're gonna be very honest, it's the only one that actually... No, let me not speak controversially. Let me not just say things because I'm saying things. But in every trilogy, and I don't know if I'm biased, but I always think the second movie is the best movie. Next, we have Barbie the Island Princess. This one is great. That peacock dress. It is a cultural moment. It was serving, like, has never been served before. I'm trying to get Susan to not like burst in and like beat the crud out of me.
You need to stop reading those books, filling your head with thoughts. Now go, Luciana. Do something to make yourself prettier.
9 out of 10. Great storyline. Honestly, they really had me stressed when she was going to go back on that boat and go back to the island. Next, we have Barbie Mariposa. Amazing. Mariposa apparently is butterfly in Spanish. And I know that thanks to this movie.
Me hablas español.
I don't feel comfortable talking
Escúchame,
in
si no hablas
Spanish.
español, te vas.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Barbie in the Diamond Castle. And there's just something about the Barbie movies where she has a duo, like a brunette little bestie. Something about that blonde brunette combo just, oh, it delivers. It delivers so well. And this movie is just in the forest that like forage and have like a little happy life, and they find like a diamond castle, and you can't tell me that those girls are not together. They're cottagecore lesbians living my cottagecore lesbian dream, and that's just that.
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
And for that, 10 out of 10. I don't make the rules, except I do because it's my channel, but Christmas Carol, amazing. It's just the classical tale, but make it Barbie. Good stuff. Friendship, magic, mwah. I'll give it 7 out of 10. Thumbelina, mid. I didn't really like Barbie Thumbelina. It's the B movie, actually. I saw somebody make that comparison. It's actually just the B movie. Yeah, seize the means of production. This one's forgettable. Barbie and the Three Musketeers. The girls are giving moments, but plot lacking. I will give it 4 out of 10. Malia Summers. Barbie in a Mermaid Tale. Malia Summers is who I wanted to be so bad. I wanted to be a cool surfer girl whose hair turned pink when I touched the water, and who had a secret like mermaid mom who I had to break out and say good stuff. Good stuff. This movie, amazing. The whole putting on the tail thing. When I tell you, it had me wrapping sheets around my legs so I could be a mermaid, and you're gonna be like, Mommy, weren't you like a bit older when these movies came out? Well, no, I was 10 out of 10. Next one, the Fashion Fairy Tale. It was good. I don't really remember watching this movie, but I know I watched it and I played the games on Barbie.com. Or was it Mattel.com? Games online. And this one had a really good dress-up game, which I did indulge in. So just because of that, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Barbie Fairy Secret. Can you keep a secret? Secret. Ah. Ah. 8 out of 10. Am I gonna explain myself? No. Barbie Princess Charm School. 10 out of 10. Y'all girlies wanted to go to Hogwarts. And I wanted to go to Princess Charm School. You and me, we're not the same.
Delancey, there's such a thing as too much perfume.
10 out of 10.
You stepped on 8 of my toes. I only have 4 left.
2. You have 2 left.
That's even worse.
A Perfect Christmas, forgettable, 5 out of 10. Barbie and a Mermaid Tale 2? I love me a good sequel moment. Especially when the materially, the first time, amazingly. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, every other Barbie movie after that, never watched them, don't have any opinions on them. This is strictly, I end up Barbie in the Mermaid Tale, second one. And that is what the contents of this video is gonna be about. Long ass intro, but so worth it, right? Now there you go. Now you know about all the Old Testament Barbie movies. Let's get into the meat and the potatoes now. Or was that the meat and the potatoes? I don't even eat meat and potatoes. I'm vegetarian, for God's sakes. Also, this is why I don't do standing videos anymore. I get a bit too unhinged. I get excited. The energy, I don't know where to take it. Like, y'all, I can just run around, but I can't because it won't be in frame. So I'm stuck here. But yeah. Next part. Ariana, what are you doing here? The radical celebration of all things girly that the Barbie movies represented at the time that it did come out, I feel was a very vital thing for the feminine consciousness, because it showed girls that there's nothing less than in enjoying things that are seen as stereotypically feminine. And as we know in media, or not only in media, but a lot of the time, a lot of the things that girls see as cool is seen as less than, or well, a lot of the things that are seen as typically girl-y or typically things that girls like to indulge in are seen as of less value, shallow, vapid, etc, etc. So to see a space, a cinematic space that actually turns its back against that whole ideology and revels in the hyper-feminine fever dream that is the Barbie cinematic universe, it's nothing short of a breath of fresh air. Before it was cool, the Barbie movies showed that being not like other girls and being like other girls is quite normal either way, because most of the movies weren't even love stories per se, but a lot of them followed the hero's journey of the main girl of the movie, probably going through a hero's journey of discovery, of friendship, of magic sometimes if we were lucky. The movies went to show how, I don't know if they intended to do this at the time, but a lot of what I got from that movie was the importance of female relationships. A lot of the movies do center around female relationships, and even though I do joke and say some of them they were together, they were so together, right? Did I read that wrong? Anyway, it went to show how important female companionship is. Even though some of these movies did have a male love interest, he was rarely ever the focus. Sometimes he's just eye candy, sometimes he's just there just to be looked at, and sometimes he's just there at the beginning and the end of the movie. Sometimes he's like a fully fledged character that does participate. But even one of the movies, Barbie is literally working towards saving one of her main guys that was imprisoned. I think it was Mariposa, 1 or 2, I'm not sure. The movies went the extra mile to show that girls could be multifaceted. They could form deep and meaningful relationships. They have struggles more than just makeup and clothes, and we're intelligent and versatile and complex. And with the media that was coming out at the time, I don't think, ooh, sorry, little bibble went away there for a second. With the media that was coming out at the time, I don't think we got to see a lot of that. So the Barbie movies did stand out when it came to that. The upcoming Barbie movie. Oh my god, let's get into it, because Barbieheimer is coming. Barbieheimer might have happened by the time this video is out. Seeing a resurgence of Barbie core and all things pink evokes such childhood glee out of me. I can't even begin to explain how excited it makes me. You can probably tell, because a lot has changed since the release of the original Barbie movies, and I know I haven't been keeping up with the Barbie cinematic universe, especially with the animated movies that were released after the year 2013. Don't ask me, I simply do not know. Okay, my sisters watch them though, and I do put on for them Barbie movies because, come on, you have to keep the legacy alive. I just can't convince children from this generation to sit through the hellish animation that was what we were watching at the time, because these Cocomelon babies will cry. I cried, and honestly, wouldn't you? Look at this.
I wanna go home.
With Greta Gerwig's Barbie coming up, I find myself excited for the celebration of all things feminine that is going to come with this movie. When I tell you I have hot pink outfits planned for that whole week, you would think I'm a crazy person. You would think I'm unhinged. You would think, Imani, you seriously can't have outfits and matching makeup for every single day of that week. But then to that I'd say, look at me. Do I look like somebody who does not have matching outfits and makeup and shoes for the whole Barbieheimer, mostly Barbie, Oppenheimer is there, for the whole Barbie premiere week? Look at me in the eye and say that. Be fucking for real. It's probably gonna be the grossest thing that's ever come out of my mouth, but I can't wait to see the postmodern approach that they take towards Barbie now, because the movie does seem like it's gonna take a whole existential turn and really examine some. I'm ready for this. I'm going to make a whole analysis on this movie, and something in my heart of hearts is telling me that Ken might just be the villain of this movie. This is a radical prediction to put out there, especially because this video might come out after the movie. But I feel like he's a bit of the villain. I don't know. You let me know though. You let me know. This video isn't academic, by the way. This video is simply just me sharing on things that I love. And when speaking of things that I love, let's get to the BIBBLE segment.
And she is the moment. Now come on now.
I need to stand up for this because my king deserves a standing ovation. BIBBLE is the best character ever, period. This man, this boy, this entity has so much to say. And he says it so eloquently, and everything he says is poetic. I don't even think I have the words. I wrote them down, but I don't even feel like they properly describe it. I love BIBBLE so much. And honestly, this is just how I'm gonna end the video. Do we have any BIBBLE stands in the room with us right now? Clickety clack in the comment section below. Oh my god, I'm so happy that you joined me for this whole video. Thank you for giving me the time to talk about the Barbie cinematic universe, the one and only love of my life, BIBBLE. And I don't know if I should make another video about what I think about the Barbie cinematic universe after I watch the new Barbie movie, or I should merge them. Well, if you're watching this right now, you'll let me know. I don't think I'm gonna merge them though. That's too much work on my end. Anyway, I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye, Barbie girls. In a Barbie world. Life in plastic. It's fantastic. Ah! I need help.